Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about the characteristics that are used in the classification of organisms, and those characteristics we have discussed in a hierarchical manner. So we call them as hierarchy of characteristics for classification. Now let us learn how classification and evolution will go side by side. Right. If you look at any living organisms are identified as well as they are categorized, means classified into different groups based on their form and function. Form means body design, function. So, if you look at the hierarchy of characteristics, the first characteristics which we have discussed is cell type, based on which the remaining characteristics will follow on. So, in the same way, if you look at the organisms, a particular group of organisms, in that particular group of organisms, the initially formed organism is going to decide or is going to just shape the effects of subsequent formed organisms. So, the initial body design, it will shape the effects of the subsequent changes. The initially formed body design, it will shape the effects of subsequent changes in their body design, because the initial characteristic is the more basic or the fundamental characteristic, right? Okay. So the organisms that are formed in earlier periods, like how the initial body design, in the same way, the organisms that are formed in the earlier periods are more likely to decide that which subsequent organisms are going to develop in the later periods. Like how the initially formed body design is going to shape the effects of subsequent changes in the body design. In the same way, the organisms that are formed in the initial periods or earlier periods are going to just decide which subsequent type of organisms are going to be formed in the later periods. And in the hierarchy of classification, we discussed that the organisms are divided into two large categories based on the cell type, that is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. If you look at the prokaryote, it is having the most basic design of the cell, that is having very less efficient features. And if you look at the eukaryotic cell, unicellular eukaryotic cell, it is having advanced features of the cell than compared to prokaryotic cell. But when compared to multicellular eukaryotic form, the unicellular eukaryotic form is going to have the basic design only. But from this basic design only, the multicellular forms are going to be formed. So initially, whatever the basic design, that is unicellular eukaryote is there, that itself has shaped the effects of the subsequent changes in the body design of the later organisms. So, classification of organisms is carried out based on the hierarchy of characteristics. Classification of organisms is going to be carried out based on the hierarchy of characteristics. This hierarchy of characteristics is developed not at once. It has developed over a period of time, over a course of evolutionary period of time. Right? What is evolution? The gradual development of new structures, forms and organisms from the previously existing structures, forms and organisms by the accumulation of changes by the accumulation of changes over a period of time is called evolution. What is evolution? The gradual development of new structures, forms and organisms from the previously existing structures, forms and organisms over a period of time by what? By the accumulation of changes in their body designs and functions. So, according to all these things, we can say that classification of organisms is closely related to evolution. So, evolution is making the hierarchy of characteristics. Based on hierarchy of characteristics, we are carrying out classification of organisms. So, are they not going side by side or together? Definitely they are going side by side or they are going together. As the organism is evolved more recently, it will have more accumulated changes. Okay. So if the organism is already evolved long back, in the start of the life formation, the organism will have very less changes, very less characteristics or basic design in its body. Okay. Whereas if the organism has evolved very recently, then what it is going to have? It is going to have more accumulated changes in its body design. And what type of changes that these are? These changes these changes must be supportive for the survival of the organism until its reproductive maturity, so that it can reproduce again the new organisms from it. So, as per the idea of evolution that is given by Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin is the father of evolution, and he has given the idea of evolution. Okay, so he is called the father of evolution, right? And he has written a book called Origin of Species. According to from the notes of Origin of Species, we can say survival of the fittest. There is a concept. Okay, survival. The more fit organisms only are going to be allowed by the nature to survive and reproduce later. Right? So, whatever the organisms that are existing now, which are formed very recently, will have more accumulated changes. Those accumulated changes definitely would have supported the survival and the reproduction of the organisms. Otherwise, they cannot survive, they cannot exist. Right? According to evolution, some organisms have ancient body designs, means very old body designs, and some have relatively recent body designs. So, if you look at the first group of organisms which have ancient body designs, we will feel like they are primitive organisms or lower organisms, but actually they are not the primitive organisms. What we can say? They are older organisms, since they are formed in the start of the life itself. In the course of evolution, these organisms are formed for the first time or in the initial periods. So they are the older organisms, not simply just primitive or lower organisms. As they are formed initially whatever that is formed, it will have very basic body design. The initial computer, which was having very basic body design, less complexity. The size may be bigger sometimes, which we will come across in the later. Okay, the size of certain organisms is very huge, up to the size of the building, but the complexity in the body design is very, very less, because it is formed initially. Okay, right. And second group of organisms, they are advanced or higher, but actually, okay, we have to say that they are younger organisms, because they are not formed in the initial period, they are formed in the relatively recent periods. Okay, because they are from the recent times, but not the start of the life. But whatever it may be. As the recentness increased, means as the organism is formed relatively very recent periods, the complexity in body design is increased. Why? The recently formed organism is going to have accumulated changes in its body design. As the recentness increased, the accumulated changes also are going to increase, and these accumulated changes must support the survival and reproduction. Right. So the younger organisms are more complex and advanced, and older organisms are less complex or basic. In what form? Their body design. The younger organisms are more advanced or complex in their body design than compared to the older organisms. And older organisms are less complex or basic in body design than compared to the present generation organisms or younger organisms. Like we say that the younger generations are more intellectual or intelligent than compared to the older generation. Right? Okay. So thinking also evolves, not only simply body design. Okay. Right. As different in the nature. Okay, different life forms are existing. Okay, different life forms are existing, and they form all these different forms. They form biodiversity. As different life forms share a common environment, a stable community can exist. A stable community can exist. So only we must allow all the organisms to survive in their balanced number. If we are killing, okay, simply for our greedy purposes, some particular type of organisms in the large number, and if the balanced number of organisms are not there, then what will happen? We are going to lose the stability in the environment, in our ecosystem. And humid and warm climate can support the existence of the large type of organisms. So in between, okay, Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, in between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn means there is the equator, the center of the earth, above it 23 and half, okay, north and 23 and half south, Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. That region is, okay, called as tropical region. So because it is present in between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, there warm and humid climate is existing. This warm and humid climate can support more number of organisms for their survival. So mega biodiversity, the region of mega biodiversity exists in this region. Whereas above this and below this, above the 23 and half north and below the 23 and half south, okay, the biodiversity will be little lesser, and as we move to poles, biodiversity still it is much lesser. Okay, and almost around 10 million species of organisms are there on this earth, but we hardly know about 1 to 2 millions of organisms only. But our role is to protect all the organisms or to keep these numbers in the balanced way. Otherwise, what is going to be lost? Stability of the ecosystem is going to be lost. If the stability of ecosystem is lost, then indirectly it will even harm to humans also. Right? Thank you.